Welcome to another episode of Your Unlimited Life. I'm Carlos Marin, author of The Ultimate Success Formula, and welcome to a brand new beginning. We have invested 6 weeks studying motivation from all different aspects. What creates it, what sustains it, what magnifies it, and I have been preparing you for a critically important topic, which this is a great time to talk about it, because for most of you, you are just starting a new year, coming off of your vacations, your holidays, everything else. You're a couple of weeks into the year, and we're gonna really jump into something that's really important for probably most of you. Because I think that one of the things that most entrepreneurs and business people really wanna do is they wanna get to that level of success, that level of financial freedom, that thing which we call being a millionaire. And so I gotta ask you a question. Is it okay? Is it okay if I taught you how to think like a millionaire? Because, I look around and I think that there's a lot of people stuck and that they think that there's like this big mystery about it. And there really isn't. There really is a way to think that produces the types of results that millionaires get. Now, understand something. Millionaires come from many different types of backgrounds. Anybody, you can't just pigeonhole them all into one category or say they all did it this way or that way or the other way. But there is a line of thinking, there is a way of thinking, there is a certain belief system, belief structure that produces these kinds of results. And so while millionaires come from many different types of backgrounds, all kinds of nationalities, all kinds of educational levels. Some are college graduates, some are high school graduates, some didn't even graduate high school. Some have doctorates, and some don't even know what a doctorate is. So many different types of backgrounds, many different education levels, many different types of businesses, from service businesses to internet businesses to network marketing businesses to professionals. I mean, there's all kinds of different, they come in all shapes and sizes, tall ones, short ones, fat ones, skinny ones, good looking ones, ugly ones. and then all different kinds of personalities, different temperament styles, right? You got some of those A-type personalities and drivers, and some of them are so laid back that you go, oh my goodness. And some of them are sharp and well-dressed, and some look like, like they just got off the farm. And so there's a lot of differences between them, but there's a lot of similarities. And what I want to share with you is the similarities, because those are the things that will help you understand this and help you get into that position yourself. So understand, some are like really organized people. They're like really anal, they're OCD almost. And others, they're just so flexible. It just, everything rolls off of them like water off of a duck's back. And they kind of fly by the seat of their pants. They're more flexible. They like that kind of, surprise that the days bring. And while others, man, they're like on it all the time, and they've got lists and they got everything planned out and so forth and so on, right? Now, some are people persons. Some are people persons, they're socialites, they love to hang around people, they're talkers, they're team builders. They thrive on being around other people. And those are the types that build sales organizations, and those are the types that head a lot of big organizations that require a lot of teams and team building and that sort of thing. There are some though that are loners. They fly solo. They're creatives and they like to work alone, and not saying that they don't fit in on teams at times and so forth, but they're more loners. They prefer to work alone. They like to do things on their own, and that's sometimes harder to become wealthy when you're not a people person. It's easier to become rich and wealthy when you're a people person, because you just, people are the salt of the earth, and it's what makes life interesting and fun. And so, but you know what? There are some that are antisocial, and they're very rich. They like to sit at a computer. A lot of those people that trade, stocks, and that currency traders and that sort of thing. But you know what? When we get into the things that they all have in common, they all seem to be, in some way, shape, or form, self-reliant. I mean, they all, whether they're team builders and people persons, they take responsibility. I mean, it's like the buck stops here. I mean, if you got to find fault, if you've got to, come pick a bone with somebody, come pick it with me. The buck stops here, right? So they're self-reliant, and whether they're these outgoing people types or loners, they're self-disciplined. They're typically self-disciplined. They are self-starters. They do not need a lot of guidance, and they're self-motivated. I mean, they take the responsibility for their own motivation and for their drive and their discipline. They don't need a lot of pushing or prodding. They're the self type, right? Self-disciplined, self-starter, self-motivated. And some of their key beliefs, and it's obvious that I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly how a millionaire thinks in just one. I'm trying to keep these messages to 10 to 15 minutes so that you can consume them easily and you can review them over and over during the week and kind of learn these lessons. So this is going to be several lessons, but let's start by talking about some of the key beliefs that these people have. And one of the major key beliefs that they have is that serving other people is the key to success. They understand that there's one of them and billions of people in this world, and they understand that the more people that they serve, the more people that they help get something that they want, something that they need, something that they aspire to in life, the more people they help get that, the more successful that they become, the more wealth that they create. They are also, in a great degree, the type of people that believe that problems contain the seeds of a greater benefit. They're the types of people that believe the bigger the problem, the better the solution, the greater the reward. They believe that problems and needs come with their own solution, that they contain their own solution. And so they're that self-driving person that is continually looking for improvement, for growth, expansion, and they believe that every problem brings with it not just the seed of a greater benefit, but also its solution. They also are believers in lifting people up. They believe that if you lift people to new ambition levels, new levels of aspiration, that people respond. They believe that sometimes people don't exactly know what their problems or their needs necessarily are, but when you show them something that really lifts their level of ambition and lifts their level of aspirations, that people respond to that, as has done Apple, for example, with their products, as have done other companies following in Apple's footsteps, as has done Facebook. I mean, people didn't know that there was such a thing as social media, but Facebook came along and said, hey, here's an easier, quicker, faster way to socialize and to socialize with people all over the world. And people said, hey, I'm in. And look at what's going on today. Over 1.5 billion people are on Facebook. Over 1 billion, I think the latest statistic is over 1 billion log in every single day. I mean, think about that. Another great thing is that they all believe that the greater value they give, the greater the reward. So to give greater value means greater income. The more value that you give to other people, the greater wealth that you create as well. Key element. And so they're value givers, right? They're not takers, they're givers. That's what people don't understand. Millionaires are givers. They also have this belief that if it's to be, it's up to me. Not that they have to do everything, right? But they are the driver. In some cases, they do believe they have to do everything, but even people that lead large teams, that if it's to be, it's up to me thing is I'm the leader, I gotta set the tone, I gotta set the pace, I gotta be the driver that creates the vacuum that everybody follows. They also have this belief in themselves and belief in their ideas. And they kind of have this thinking, like Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, whatever I conceive and believe, I achieve. and they have that kind of a mentality. They have that persistence, consistence, never say die mentality that says there's always a way if I'm committed and persistent. You know, and they feel I'm responsible for my results and my life. And they also feel that they have to control their attitude. They have to control their mind. They have to control their thinking. Kind of that my attitude in life determines my altitude in life. And then they don't give up. They don't give up. They have this feeling or this belief that there's no such thing as failure, or maybe there's no such thing as permanent failure. Sometimes I win, and if I don't win, I just got to learn something from it, and then next time I go for it, I'll try it differently, right? Because there really isn't any such thing as failure. When do you fail, ladies and gentlemen? You fail when you give up. You fail when you don't try any longer. You fail when you don't reload and go forward. So these are some of the key beliefs that these folks have. Now, next week, we're going to talk about the most powerful characteristics and mindsets that these millionaires have, so that you can start modeling this and utilizing this as a roadmap, if you will, to take you where you want to go. So again, share this show with 5 people you love, 5 people that you know want to be millionaires. Share the love. Share this. Help me on my mission to empower millions of people around the world to know their true power and greatness, be free, and live their highest vision in life. Remember, 1 million millionaires by 2021. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my YouTube channel with others so you can watch all of these shows in one central location easily and free every single week. YouTube.com/Carlos Marin TV. So until next week, live your unlimited life, and God bless.